All right, good morning. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is well. Another big move down in the markets overnight. We are down almost 3% in the ES and NQ. The Russell is down almost 4%. So when I talk about relatively weak, everything's weak, but the Russell is even more weak. It's hard to believe. Oil's down another 8.5%. Natural gas is down almost 6%. Copper's down 7%. Silver's down 5%. Soybeans are down 3%. So just a lot of red. All right. So when everything tanks like this, agriculture, energy, both natural gas and oil, all the indexes, precious metals, indicative of a serious risk off appetite. It's a shift in sentiment, so to speak. So people could be worried about a recession. Put some music on. Okay. And I don't see much in terms of setups. I mean, we just got a kind of a return to value setup on everything in the indexes. I took the one on the Russell. I took the short here, and I took this long. So let me, I got some good feedback on using the long and short tools as opposed to the arrows. All right, so I already took some profits on this one. I closed it. You know, your profit, if you're trying to hold for bigger moves, you know, profit target could have been VWAP, but we do kind of have this descending price channel to be wary of. Now, just because I'm using these long and short tools doesn't mean I'm not taking profits well into this area. You know, I'm not waiting to close the entire position up here. I'm scaling out usually. So just because it never touched the top of this profit area doesn't mean it's a losing trade for me. And it shouldn't be for you. You should be scaling out into profits and then moving your stop to break even. So theoretically, you know, at this point, this is all profit, this trade, because it worked pretty much immediately. So hopefully that helps. That's a good question. Let's see. Let me see what I have here. Eric's asking, what data package do I have on TradingView for all the products? So let me see. So I use the CME group bundle, which is $7 a month. So that includes all the indexes, energy, the precious metals, agriculture, that's everything in this one package for $7. I buy this one. This is $4, and the only reason I pay for this one is to get live VIX data. I think it's worth it. I like to keep an eye on the VIX. you know, volatility is important, right? So hopefully that helps. You don't need to get the VIX one. The $7 package would do you just fine. Okay, so this trade is over. I have no positions. I'm up 318 in my 5 new. Oh man, what happened here? Well, that's annoying. There must have been some volatility that stopped me out on that one. That sucks. I can see that. Yeah, this position I had some size. That's fine. I'll trade that one separately at the end. So I do have these risk parameters in. $1,000 loss, $1,000 target. Oh, you know what? Probably hit my trailer. That's annoying. Is what it is. Keeps me safe. And I'm going to lock these out for the day. Lock me out. Actually, you know what? My high watermark was probably pretty high on that. Oh, well, it is what it is. We'll take it slow. All right, so I can't change this now. Sure looks like the markets want to go lower, don't they? We might get some price discovery to the downside, but the Dow is relatively strong on this move, still holding in value. It wants to test these lows. Okay. So natural gas is having a little bit of a return to value here. Knowing that the drawing tools aren't saving it to all. So this could be good long here. It's the return to value setup. Now it's battling with IB mid here.
Order filled.
I'll take 2 micros here.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
screenshot of this for you guys. See what we get in natural gas. Indexes are obviously very weak. It's very hard for me to short down here. You know, and the market's already down. S&P's down 3.5%. That's wild. And I feel like there might be a capitulation coming, but we'll see. Anybody in any trades? Taking any trades? Morning, Angel. Good to have you. Natural gas is like this one could fail. Take the stop loss on this one. Still in it. About a tick away from stopping me out. Pretty tight stop. It's going to be like a $140 loser. Oh, didn't stop me out. It's right there, though. Literally one tick away. Be a $143 loser.
Order filled.
That's out. All right. See if we get this return to value trade on NQ. the bottom of a pretty big distribution here. $18,000. We hold 18,000.
Order filled. Order filled.
Scalp there. Now let's see if we get the return to value trade. Or if it holds on the outside here. We're also at the bottom of this distribution, so this could be a good area for a long here. We need acceptance back into value. Look like it wants to give us. So this is kind of a short. See if we get a change in sentiment here on tick strike, because now we got buyers currently. See if we get some sellers step back in, go lower. So this is a key area. Let's watch what happens. So we have the value area low of this distribution on NQ. All right, so we've been building right here. Now, are we going to stay in value, the long? At this point, I think I'll take a small nibble.
Order
To
filled.
the long side.
Order filled. Order filled.
See if we get continuation.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Actually, I don't like the what we're getting in the other markets here. Holding outside of value on ES. See if ES gets some strength. All right, so we're chopping around in corn right now. All right, choppy market. Soybeans are pretty weak. Silver is super weak, along with the other metals. All good shorts. So we're back at the 18,000 level at NQ. Weakness in the other indexes could be pulling this one down here. This one's going to break. Russell's the weakest out of all of them. Again, it's down almost 6%. We might get that limit down today. Who knows? Tough conditions to trade, I'll tell you what. Not a normal day by any stretch of the imagination. Silver. Just. This is a huge move in silver. This thing. It's down almost 14% in 2 days. Massive. Absolutely massive. Here's a continuous. Eric. Nice, Randall. Yeah, it's just kind of bleeding out, isn't it? All right, yes, what contract do you use, the continuous or the monthly? On TradingView, I use the continuous, obviously, for charting purposes, but sometimes the continuous will roll before or after some of these prop firms roll, so you just got to keep an eye on it. Just check the prices that they're the same. And if they're not, I won't use the continuous on the chart. I'll switch that over to whatever the contract we're trading. Well, this MNQ trade isn't working out, so took a small I only took one MNQ on that. So I'm up 266. Down $100 from where I was. These are tough conditions. If you're shorting this, I mean, more power to you. I find it very difficult to short a 4% down market. Tell you what, people who have retirement accounts are panicking. We're down substantially. My long-term accounts are down substantially. I'm pretty heavy dividend, so I have that working on my side. You know, I get my dividend payments and all that kind of stuff, but it's still very demoralizing to see your account down so much. So I would, you know, sooner or later, a lot of these boomers are going to want to liquidate and get out of these risky tech stops. I mean, it was quite the party for the last 2 years, and they're watching all these gains, you know, go up in smoke. There's the initial balance. Everything's just kind of bleeding out, so there's not a whole lot of setups, fortunately. You can look short, but I need to see a bigger pullback. Getting short here is too early. Patience. All right, it's 10:30. You guys see anything? If some of you guys are shorting this for the momentum play. Yeah, we're breaking the IB low here. Might be worth it. IB low bleed. See a quick retracement there. This is no man's land, in my opinion. tape in NQ is nutso. You guys ever watch this thing like this? Wild. Randall's flat. I'm flat. Don't get me wrong. The temptation is just to slam the short here is very great. Nice. ES is at the pre-market lows right here as we speak. Look at these candles on the daily. It's starting to look like capitulation. Nice B gravity. That's a good morning. Powell speaks today. 11:25. Well, did you guys know that? Heads up. Powell speaking today at 11:25.
So just a summary of where we are with the market so far. The stocks toppled around the world, bonds surged, oil hit the 4-year low, with China stepping up its fight against Trump's trade war to intensify concerns about an economic slowdown despite signs of a solid jobs market.
So we got
On pace for the worst two-day rout since the COVID lockdowns of March 2020. The S&P down about 4% on Friday. The Nasdaq 100 extended a drawdown from a record to 20%, set to enter a bear market. European shares headed for correction, and Treasury 10-year yields sank 11 basis points to around 3.92%. Money markets fully priced 4 rate reductions this year and the chance of a 5th, with some betting on an intermeeting Fed rate cut.
back test the IB low here.
The most since the banking meltdown in 2023.
And the pre-market low. Got to squeeze out all those trailing stops first.
Canada's S&P TSX Composite Index set to enter correction.
Nasdaq enters bear market. Take a look at that. There it is. Welcome to the bear market of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to be the first to welcome you.
Open is going to release 0.3 and 0.4 mini in a couple of weeks.
No, that was the short off the IB low.
And that's Sam Open. Just say we're going to release 0.3 and 0.4.
Order filled.
Probably in a couple of weeks.
Order filled.
We take it.
And going to release GPT-5 in a few months.
Order filled.
So we got a back test there of IB low. Stop on this one.
Pension treatments that
On ES, actually.
Just says no details decided, but it will be decided next week.
I'll probably got to give it a little more here. Let's go. That. $42.
Order filled.
So I'll start scaling out as it works in my favor, and then set stop to break even. Silver's still tanking.
Europe's stock 600 extends full, down 5.3% at a session low.
So we'll start taking a little off
Order
as it works
filled.
in my favor.
Order filled.
If we hit new lows here,
Order filled.
stop at break even. See if we get a little follow through here.
Order
Take
filled.
that off there. About 400. It's moving very slow. I'm not crazy about the thinness down here. Looks like it might be starting to create a little bit of a failed auction, but anything could happen. About 400. Silver's wild. Could be a little bit of a buy area down here. 5. There goes. A little alert there on silver. Tighten this up now. So the trade there was the break of IB low, continuation price discovery to the downside. I took it on the break as opposed to the confirmation. Well, we got a bit of a confirmation. I got in, I think. Now, I didn't have that much size. I scaled out a little bit as it worked in my favor. If you're still holding it, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I have, Randall, I have Financial Juice up here and the Squawk Box. So they literally are telling me that he's about to start speaking or he's speaking in an hour. Audibly, I can hear him talking. I can't imagine trading without a Squawk Box, actually. General target was a 50% IB low extension. I have to trade small and take profits into my moves because I think I have a trailing stop in. And this first trade I took went a little red on me. So I'm concerned. Or, I mean, the trade I had actually was pretty deep in profit before I closed it. It was up like $600 or $700. I closed it for 4. So I'm worried my trailing drawdown doesn't really tell you. That's ugly. Look at that candle. Daily. So the NASDAQ, the Russell, the Nikkei, the Japanese stock market, and the Magnificent Seven index are all now in bear market territory. There it is. Boom. So I know B Gravity, you took the break of IB low for a nice scalp. I waited for the back test confirmation, which we got almost to the tick. And I took that short. Just like that. At the time, I gave it like that.
The NASDAQ 100 falling more than 5%.
Yeah, for sure. And also, we're down 5%. Like, holding short trades when we're down already 5% is not an easy thing to do. Like, where do we stop? 6%? Do we limit that? You can't. Also, they'll won't let you trade it in Top Step within 2% of the limit down. Yeah, 7% is the halt, but on Top Step, you're not supposed to be trading within 2% of the halt, which is 5%. So currently the Russell's off limits, the NASDAQ's off limits.
About 7.5% test the $91 to $96 support zone.
ES is off limits. I mean, a lot of these markets should not be being traded right now. Supposedly, I took a trade yesterday in the Russell when it was down 6%, and I got it. I got it. I was able to trade it, and I was able to open and close the position. So I don't know if it's a hard rule. I think they monitor the situation. And I don't think they auto liquidate en masse. Actually, I don't think it applies to combines. I think it's just XFAs and live accounts. That's what it is. Silver is catching a little bit of a bid here, guys. This might be an interesting trade. I mean, it's sold off so much. Might be worth catching a little bounce in silver here. Small size.
Order filled.
And that was like a capitulation move there.
Just seeing a tweet here from Fox's Gasparino saying overheard for more resources closer to the Trump White House. That Secretary
Order filled.
is trying to moderate, albeit quietly, this hardline stance of trade. If he ramps it up, it would be the first significant in-house battles in the new administration, pitting Bessent against Howard Ludwig and Navarro.
Order filled.
Look where I set my alert, guys. Came within 2 ticks of my alert. 1 micro on silver. Small size.
Order filled.
Nice. Right back up to IB triple extension on silver. So level to level. So how's everybody else trading out there? Any positions, any wins, any losses? I know Gravity got a good trade. The break of IB low. I caught this little silver. Up 589. 4 of my combines. The other one got stopped out for the day because of some volatility early on in the open. Unfortunate, but is what it is. So I'll get the other 4 up to passing. I'll probably have to trade that single 5th one while I trade the XFAs. So there'll be a delay in that one. That's okay. Got to manage the risk. Nice, Randall. You have a profit target, or Randall's up 380 profit target, or just gonna let it run until you're done? It'd be interesting to see what happens on the ES as we approach IB low in the lower band up here. Seems like could be a good trade position. I wouldn't just take it on the touch. We got to see what happens up here. It could break through. We get acceptance, and then we get the return to value trade, which would be a nice one. So we'll see what happens. So when I say I'm looking for acceptance, that means I'm looking for it to break in and then spend either time or distance up here before hopefully confirmation and then continuation to VWAP. Yeah, I don't blame you. Randall doesn't.
S&P Global Rating says that most European businesses can manage US tariff effects.
So sooner or later, we're going to get a face-ripping rally. It's going to happen. It always happens. How is the stream on mute? Oh, you can't hear me. That's right. That was a nice little bounce in silver. Anybody caught that with me? Got to trade that one on micros. The tick size is so huge on that, and it moves so many ticks at a time. Same with natural gas and gold. So gold's kind of forming a distribution down here, which is interesting. For a long right here. We're at the point of control in the session. So I might watch gold a little bit here for a long. Micro gold. MGC. But I'm going to wait for some strength to come back in. Still sellers.
CME Group says $147 billion of FX was traded on its EBS platform on Thursday, the largest volume since March 19th of 2020.
Order filled.
So we're at this lower distribution now in gold, which is interesting. It's kind of like it's right where we're at. Maybe a little lower. 2.6. No. $52.6. So roughly right here. At that IB lower extension here.
Order filled. Order filled. Order
Whoa.
filled. Order filled.
That was quite the move. All right. Money's coming into the market here, guys. There's stuff happening.
Order filled.
Vietnam wants to cut tariffs down to zero. Trump saying
Order
Vietnam
filled.
wants to cut tariffs down to zero.
Order filled.
This Truth Social. Did see a little bit of
Order filled. Order filled.
500, just a little bit.
Order filled.
Very volatile.
Order filled. Order filled.
Also, I look forward to a meeting in the near future. Yeah, just
Order filled.
that headline that Trump says Vietnam wants to
Order
cut their
filled.
tariffs down to zero. Didn't see movement
Order
on
filled.
the S&P 500.
Yep, there's some news breaking, guys, about tariffs and looking to get tariffs reduced and countries willing to communicate and cooperate. So look at corn. Vietnam's Lamb told me that Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs down to zero if they're able to make an agreement with the US.
It's just seeing Lululemon quickly apparent declined. Like,
This is the benefits of the squawk box, guys. And tick strike. All of that alerted me to a nice trade. We're up 788 now. Caught that move in gold. And as I heard the money flush, and I sized up a little bit on that one. So it looks like we're getting a bit of Some good
Order
news.
filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Good opportunity there. All right, we're at VWAP on the Russell. We're at point of control on the NASDAQ. We're approaching this distribution on the S&P. Good long opportunities. 858. A little bit of a return to value set up on NQ there. Had to take the break. Trump says he just had a very productive call with Vietnam. I didn't know Vietnam was that big of a trade partner, but maybe it is. All right, so this is where we could get the return to value back test confirmation here, guys. It looks like the first one that's going to do it is NQ.
Order filled.
Scaling into a little position here.
Order filled.
It's probably just a bounce. I want to get a little lower. $9.10. That's still kind of far, actually. 910, between 910 and 950, that's a huge area. It's a 40-point range. So that's tough.
According to Nikkei, to cover US supplies, high cost tied to Trump tariffs. Again, Nikkei reporting Toyota to cover US supplies, high cost tied to Trump tariffs.
All right, well, lots of sellers here. Take
Order
a little bit of
filled.
a bounce.
Order filled.
All right, so I know you can't see, this is a naked chart. You guys can't see what I'm seeing here. On NQ, so on NQ, this is IB low, lower band, and the value area low on the session volume profile, all in the same spot. Right here. Let's see what it does here. Let's wait for it to test, and then maybe we'll get some strength.
Order filled.
So I'm going to scale in a little bit.
We have also posted out the article from the financial newsfeed again from Nikkei in Asia. Toyota to cover
Order filled.
US supplies, high cost tied to Trump tariffs.
Order filled.
I just hit my profit target. Okay, well, that's that.
Additional 25.
All right, I'm locked out, guys. $1,000 in profit for the day across 4 combines.
Such as engines and transmissions by May 3rd.
And that was a good area to long. So there was a ton of confluence there. And you got a 30-point bounce, 40-point bounce. That was a beautiful trade right there. So that was this. You know, call that one out in real time. You know, this is what the
Just
risk
saying,
profile would have
still
looked
giving it a
like,
big time for
something
Trump
like
to raise
that.
interest rates. He's always late, but he can now change his image quickly. Energy prices
Actually,
are down, interest rates are down,
50 would be
wages are
the,
down, even eggs down 6-9%. Jobs are up all within
there.
2 months. A big win for America. Cut interest rates, Jerome, and stop playing politics.
So if I put the distribution here, IB low, value area low, lower VWAP band, all in the same spot. Now I traded the bounce. I got stopped out because I hit my profit target, but that was a beautiful level to trade long. I have the profit target at 50 because that's the point of control. Not on TradingView, on NinjaTrader, which has a more reliable data. Anybody take that trade? That was beautiful.
Otherwise, they're doing Morgan pushing the recession expectations 60%.
There it is. That one worked out right according to plan there. Yeah, so Randall says, I want to look into more markets in the upcoming weeks. Just have to learn how they move in contract sizing for my style of trading. Absolutely. This strategy in particular works very, very well with all of these markets, as I've demonstrated. You know, I'm showing you guys now at least every day all the different markets and how these same setups materialize day in and day out on all these markets. Now they do move differently. The tick size, the contract sizing, almost all of them have micros, except for soybeans and corn. But you can trade micro silver, micro gold, micro natural gas, micro oil. I highly recommend trading the micros. You know, if you're not going to practice trade them, just trade one micro. Start with very small size. Get comfortable. The micros on these other markets are a little tougher to scalp because they're a lot thinner. If you look at the, and I have this too. I think I'll send this to you guys. It's a little laminated thing I made. I keep it. I used to keep it. I have it all memorized now, but I used to keep it handy so I could memorize it. Yeah, I mean, there's really no reason not to, unless you're trading really big size, which most people are not, especially in these prop firm accounts. It doesn't make any sense to trade minis. The commissions, especially on Top Step X, are so low. I don't think there actually are any commissions. I think it's just the exchange fees. So let me show you guys real quick. So like this is
So just an update here from Major Newswire.
micro gold here. When it's really volatile, I mean, it's got a huge spread and it just jumps around like crazy.
There is still the article.
It's very thin. Look at natural gas. That's another one. Micro natural gas.
A while ago, and they just updated it again recently.
So this highlighted color, that's the actual print. And the bid and offer can navigate pretty far away from the print without actually no new print happening. Because it's so thin. It is what it is. Not great for scalping, but you can still catch decent moves, and you really want to try and get in and out on the bid and the offer. You really don't want to market into these, or if I'm trading small size, like I'll market one and try to get in on the bid on the other. So I get a decent price. But I'm generally usually trying to work a bid and an offer, as opposed to just marketing in and out. It's just too thin.
We have posted out the video on the feed for you to watch.
I think we got Powell speaking in 10 minutes. So I'm glad I'm done. But this NQ trade was a nice one. I'm glad to end there. I'll hang around for a little longer. Let's see what happens when Powell speaks. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay. Nice looking wick on the daily on NQ. Huh, that's funny. Look like my drawing of what I thought was gonna happen. That's pretty damn cool, guys. Look at that. So I drew this earlier when price was down here. And I said I expect price to break through IB and lower band, pull back, and then go to VWAP for our return to value trade. And that is exactly what happened. You know, when you see this stuff happen over and over again, I mean, that's pretty sick. I'm going to try and do a video today, a montage of me doing that earlier, and then what happened afterwards. Look what happened in corn here. Let's go over to corn. So we had this break out of value. We had the pullback to upper band to the tick and the return to highs. Good stuff. Gold never really took off.
5 minutes away from Fed's Powell speaking on the economic outlook, the event. We have posted that video on the feed for you to watch.
5 minutes, guys, until the Fed speaks, Powell speaks about the economic outlook. Russell's relatively strong. So you can see we're still battling VWAP here. But the Russell is trading well above it. Usually the weakest will have the strongest recovery. Two minutes.
One minute to go now.
trading isn't hard.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Fed's Powell says Fed well positioned to wait for greater clarity before considering policy adjustment. Too soon to say when it will be appropriate, when the appropriate path for monetary policy will be. But it's becoming clear that tariff increases will be significantly larger than expected. The same is true of economic efforts. Tariffs are likely to raise inflation in coming quarters, and more persistent effects are possible. Fed's obligation is to make certain that one-time increases in price levels doesn't become an ongoing inflation problem. Most measures of long-term inflation
Not good.
are well anchored. Outlook is highly uncertain with elevated risks of higher unemployment and high inflation. Data shows solid growth, the labor market is imbalanced, and inflation much closer, but still above the 2% goal. Uncertainty is high, and downside risks have risen, but the economy is still in a good place. Fed is closely watching tension between hard and soft data. Surveys show dimming expectations, high uncertainty due to new federal policies, and especially trade. And progress toward 2% inflation goal has slowed. Unemployment rate still in low range. Job market is not a source of inflation.
I mean, so can you guys hear that? Probably not. Can you guys hear the squawk box in the background or no? You can hear it. Okay, cool.
Just keeping an eye on the markets here. S&P 500 a little bit of a downside movement. Did see a little pop to the upside, pretty small. Now seeing some downside movement as well.
Some sellers coming in on that news. It was a nice little bounce though. That made my day. Clean, straight movement. Filled in the whole initial balance on the Russell. Got a nice fill, almost a VWAP on the NASDAQ. So I took the return to value trade here.
Fed to wait until June to start rate cuts that Powell delivers remarks.
So the setup on NQ that I took, that I just announced on stream here. Oh.
Treasuries hold gains after Powell comments on tariffs impact.
Corn still holding. Price discovery to the upside. Oh, so like I was saying, on NQ, the setup was the break into value, return to value. And this level right here was IB low, value area low on the volume profile and lower band, right? So we broke in, We got the back test. And this is the great area to get in, manage your risk, because your stops can go down here outside of value and try and catch the upside. The VWAP, we're close to it. It's a beautiful trade. It's one of my favorite setups. I would say my two favorite setups are return to value and price discovery continuation, with my third being VWAP Bounce, my fourth being fading value area extremes, which would be this setup right here. Because now we've have acceptance and spent time in value. However, we were coming from price discovery. We almost got the VWAP Bounce. Let's see if we got anything else. Close here. This would have been the VWAP Bounce trade. So spending time out in price discovery, return to value, VWAP Bounce. Now it's fade value area extremes. So lots of setups on ES in the last 30, 40 minutes. So it's interesting, you know, if you turn this into a naked chart, you know, there's no setup here. I mean, could be a sweep of liquidity, so to speak, but to me, this is price discovery to the downside until we eventually found buyers. And then we return to value, which is this area here. Now, we shouldn't expect to go higher. You know, if you're a trend line trader, you know, I don't know. But this was clear return to value and then heading into VWAP here. All very important price levels if we put them on the chart. I think it's funny how there's like some elitism among like naked chart traders, like how it's I can trade without anything on my chart. But like, how do you trade without seeing VWAP? I mean, it's a clear, important level where huge institutions are watching.
It's going to the Q&A part of the session.
These levels are respected over and over again. I just don't know. Well, I hope everybody had a good day today. I know B Gravity closed green. I think Randall closed green. Good morning, Kulu. Welcome to the stream.
Powell does not respond to election officials' comments. Powell says unhappiness with the economy seems rooted in early inflation.
Okay, now I would expect more downside. This would be the breakout back into discovery. We did get a little bounce here. That was a 10-point bounce. But not enough buyers, continuation to the downside.
Powell says prices don't go down and people know they're paying more and are right not to be happy about it. And inflation has come down quite a bit, and unemployment is near maximum employment.
Powell is still speaking. These people love to tank the market, don't they? I'm scared to look at my Roth. Ooh. No bueno.
Powell says the incoming data through this employment report still shows a solid economy. So Powell saying that sees tariffs raising inflation and says Fed will wait before further moves. Just reiterating what he's already said in his speech. Powell says Fed does not have a probability forecast of recession. Outside forecasts have raised that probability. Uncertainty is higher. You're seeing a little bit of a downside movement on the S&P 500, tiny bit.
He said a little downside movement on the S&P. We've gone down 100 points in
Powell
15
says
points in
tariffs
15
are higher
minutes.
than almost all forecasters predicted, but I still don't know.
A little downside.
They will come to rest.
100 points in 15 minutes.
Again, saying we still don't know if it will come to rest.
This is some serious volatility, guys. VIX is at 40. Let's take a look at the VIX. This is live VIX data I pay for.
Spot gold extends declines, last down
It
3%.
was. Look at that. It was at 45. Look at this. We might be close to. This is COVID. Look at that. So this is a serious spike in the VIX today, guys. Look at this. 45. Higher than any VIX reading we saw in 2022 during that bear market.
Also keep an eye on the stock indexes. S&P 500 down about 4.2%, Nasdaq down about 4.4%, and Dow down about 3.7%.
Yeah, Tick Strike is pretty awesome. I love it. It's a little expensive, $100 a month, but you know, it's another way of sensory. Instead of just watching everything, it adds another layer of sensory input that I think assists me in my trading execution. Crazy VIX, 100%. So that type of VIX reading I mean, this can indicate some type of short-term bottom, unless this is, COVID went to 85. So, I don't know. Don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm going to wrap up the stream here today, guys. I'm done trading for the day. I'm going to work on some content. I have to do a long form video today. I do them every Friday. Any topics you guys have an interest?
Says a year from now, uncertainty should be much lower as impact on Trump policies become clearer.
Any topic suggestions? Okay, price action man. So I have speakers that are connected to my mic. I just unplugged them. Does that sound better? Price action man is commenting on the echo of my sound, and I think I know why. I just made a change. Does that make a difference?
Powell says that
it's
a good time to take a step.
Okay, I'll unplug those speakers when I'm streaming.
You seem to say what monetary policy response should be.
Yep, be gravity, guys. Have a good weekend. Study up. I'll be releasing some content. See you on Monday.
To wait, the policy is modestly restricted. Again, policy stance is in a good place to wait, and policy is modestly restricted.
Awesome, Randall. I'm glad it's helping. And waiting for good setups pays. And there are a lot of setups, especially if you open up to other markets. So very cool. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I'm enjoying doing it with you guys. And I'm looking forward to growing this community with all you guys. I appreciate all of you being here in the early stages of it. I appreciate the support. I'm glad to help you guys, and let's do this together. So have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you all on Monday. Sunday I'll do the Q&A at 5 o'clock. If anybody's around, I'll be in there. If you have some time, I'll record it if you miss it, but would love to have you if you're available. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week. And I'll be on the Discord all weekend. If you guys are studying, have questions, want to share charts. One thing I've done, guys, when I have time to study is I look at previous session charts and look at them from the other markets. All right, it's going to give you confidence that these setups are taking place each and every day, and they work. The probability that they work is much higher than when they don't. So having confidence in the edge is what helps you become a better trader and trade according to your plan and your strategy and your system. Okay. So going through previous sessions, looking at the chart, seeing how often these setups take place and how they pan out is a great way of giving yourselves confidence in the edge. So with that, have a great weekend, guys. I'll be around on the Discord. If you have any questions, check out, I'll be dropping a video later today on something. I haven't decided yet. I'll see you then. Enjoy your weekend. Manage your risk. If you decide to keep trading, stay sharp out there.